The true believers of Jesus Christ who walk according to the will of God. Everything that happens, nothing in their life is by accident. If they're, listen me carefully, this is the prefix. If they're walking according to God's will. All of this was calculated in his plan. And we know that all things work together for good. For good, the word good, they mean for the benefit of the one who's experiencing these things. To them that love God, to them who are called according to his will. Now listen to verse 29. For whom he did foreknew. All of these things speaks about the power. I knew this, Kevin. I knew what you would have gone through. I knew, Kevin, this was calculated to bring you to where you are today. But they condemning me and telling me I was married before. And they tell me all these. Why are you listening to them? That's the first problem. Why are you listening to them? Why don't you focus on my word and ignore these people? But God, they say the woman then had 2 abortions and she can't be no minister and all these other things. And why are you listening to these people who don't know the plan for your life that God has created? Why? But what are those? But those divorces or those other people? Let's go over the scripture again. So Romans 8 and 28 is saying, Paul says, listen, we know, we are the believers of Christ. We have come to the understanding as it relates to the will of God for our lives, right? He says, and we know that all things work together for them that love God and to them who are called according to his purpose, all right? For whom he, which is God, did foreknew, I knew them in advance, he has also predestinated them to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, in other words, it didn't stop there. Whom he did predestine, listen, because I predestined you, them he also called. Now watch all these words, because every one of these words are ending with ed. And what does the English language laws of grammar dictate when a word ends with ed? This has already happened. So he says here in verse 30 of Romans 8, moreover, whom he did predestinated, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. The word justified means I cleared them of all the charges. And them he also justified, he also glorified. So Kevin, break this baby down for me. So what God is saying here, Kevin now decides to get saved on May 17th, 1996. This year will make 30 years I was a Christian. May 17, right? Now, before that, this Kevin was an old womanizer, doing a bunch of foolishness, doing everything except what God asked me to do. In fact, he was saying in his mind, listen, I can party my brain out, and when I get old and can't operate no more, and got no other choice, then I can come look for you, God. That was Kevin's original plan, right? But Kevin went through hell and high water. And when Kevin got saved, they say, this Kevin, him, but he ain't no Christian, this old no good, 2-time and sweetheart keeper, know you this and that. But I just read there, he said, because it was me that called you. And guess what? Even with all of those things that you've been through, I knew you would have gone through the divorce. I knew you would have been broke. I knew they would have worked witchcraft. But my ultimate plan was to bring you to this point right here for my glory, not their glory. If it's up to them, they will judge you every day of your life and make you question your Christian faith and make you question your Christianity. And you would be one of those people walking through life wondering if you're saved. Why? Because they're condemning you. I can't be preaching because I was divorced before. And in some cases, they were divorced 2 and 3 times, or what? He said, because I foreknew you, I called you, not these clowns. I call you. The scripture says in Isaiah 46 and 10, God who know the end of all things from the beginning. I knew. You don't think I knew what your missteps would have been? You don't think I knew when you accepted me, you would still be doing foolishness and it will take you a while before you get it together to be on the straight and narrow? You don't think I knew that? You think you outsmarted me, God? Mm-mm. He said, because I called you. When I called you at that very moment, but listen to this, I justified you. You mean you justified me when I got saved, right? No, you're still not reading the text. It says everything was past tense. So what I'm saying here to you is that because he knew Kevin would accept him, he's already called me, he's already justified me, he's already glorified me. Even before I got saved, these things were already in place. So this is why when I hear fools make statements such as, if a woman wear male pajamas, she going to hell. When I hear that, because to them, they don't know the gospel. Because as far as they're concerned, your salvation, it is so thin. It is so thin that if you make one mistake, you're not saved anymore. If one day somebody cuts you off on the road and you pop that F word, oh no, you're not saved. You got to go back to the cross and get saved all over again. So what does scripture mean here again? Because I foreknew you, I've called you, past tense. I've justified you, past tense. I've glorified you, past tense. So who you going to believe? Are you going to believe the one who did these things in the past for you already and knew you would mess up? Or are you going to believe this self-righteous joker? Help me, man. Help me to understand. See, you want to succeed. You will move freely in your Christianity, not in condemnation. In condemnations, you are shackled by the opinions of self-righteous hypocrites. DJ, where's my hypocrite spray? I need my hypocrite spray right here, right now to spray these. DJ, get me the extra strength one. Okay, I don't bring the other because they don't die off that original one. Okay. No, keep that one there.